Hello everyone and welcome back to Wanderlust Keva, and today I'm going to share with you 7 ways that you can save on your next Carnival cruise. So I'm just going to jump right into it. So tip number 1 would be to book ahead of time. So I would say to try to book at least a year in advance of your cruise to get those best deals. You'd also save on your deposit price. Those prices are also at its lowest if you book well in advance. You also want to make sure you use your VIFP number in order to see whatever deals you may be able to get based on your VIFP number. And for those of you that are unsure what is your VIFP number, it's that number when you take your first Carnival cruise, they give you that number to identify yourself, and that number tells how many cruises you've been on, and then you get different deals based on the amount of cruises or things you may have done on your cruise, such as playing in the casino, so on and so forth, because playing in the casino also helps you to get special deals. So tip number 2 would be to book a cruise based on its age as well as the amount of days your cruise is for. So basically, depending on how long your cruise is going to be, could determine how much your cruise is going to cost, as well as how old or new the ship may be. The newer the ship is, the more the price will be. So maybe it'll be better if you're on a budget to look for a cruise that is not so new compared to more of the newer ones. Tip number 3 would be prepaying for your Wi-Fi packages. So there's actually 3 Wi-Fi packages. You can check it on the Carnival Hub app based on what you need. If you don't need some of the extra things that is giving on the other packages, it may be best for you to choose a lower package that just offers what you need. And if you pay in advance before the cruise, your price will be much less compared to when you are actually on the cruise. So tip number 4 would be to prepay for any drink packages you may be interested in. So you have several packages. You have the chairs package, which is like your alcohol. You have your wine packages, which says exactly what it's for. You also have a bottomless bubbles package, which is basically for sodas and juices and stuff like that. So basically, with your chairs package, you want to make sure that it's actually worth it for you, because if you aren't a big drinker, then you would be spending around $59 per day. So it really depends on how often you drink, and then you want to bear in mind that there are also days that you're going to be out to port, so those days you're going to actually be missing. So it's really good to take note of the price that you're going to be paying for these packages and determine whether it's going to be worth it for you, because you get to drink up to 15 drinks per day, but the average person really doesn't get to drink that. Maybe 1 or 2 days you may reach your target, but for the most part you're not gonna drink 15 drinks a day, and it may not be worth it. But for some people it may be, so it's really up to you to determine if you are able to do this. Then with the bottomless bubbles package, like I said, these include sodas, and basically you get to drink sodas all day. Now, another thing to take into consideration, because there's a lot of persons that doesn't know what type of drinks are free to them on the cruises, and the free drinks include, you have drinking water, you have lemonade, you have iced tea. You also, in the morning time, they have different juices like orange juice, and it's another flavor, fruit juice that you can get in the morning. So I definitely highly recommend that you bring your water bottles, and you can use them to refill, or you can bring your tumblers or your collapsible bottles. I'll have a link in the description to show you some cruise essentials, and those water bottles and tumblers are also in that link. So it is an Amazon link, and any purchases you make is at no extra cost to you. I do get a commission for any purchases that you make. Other than that, you also have regular tea and coffee that is provided to you for free on the cruise. So if you don't feel like those are going to be suffice for you, then you can go ahead and either bring your free bottle of wine, you can either bring your free case of soda or carton of whatever drink that you may be interested in. And even if you may be able to even find water in a carton or in a can, you can bring those as well. But everyone only gets to bring 1 bottle of wine each. That's adults 21 and older. Or for the sodas, you can bring 1 case each, and that's 12 in a case. So that is something that you definitely want to think of. And tip number 5 I would say take your own pictures on the cruise. Now, for those that may really love photos, and I'm not saying that Carnival takes horrible pictures, they take really nice photos, but like I said, if you're on a budget and trying to save money on your cruise, then this is a way for you to save. Tip number 6. So I would say if you're on a budget, eat at all the free restaurants and at the dining room on your cruise. So you can go to the buffet, the dining room, those are all free. You can go and check out on your app to see which ones are free and which ones cost a fee. And the dining room is really the area where you go and you sit down and they actually serve you. Now, there are things on the menu that you have to pay for, and your server would have no problem with letting you know whether you have to pay for this one or you don't. If you're not sure, you can always ask. But there's lots of places to eat on cruise. You just ask if you're not sure, or look on the website. They'll tell you which ones are free and which ones cost a price. They'll also tell you the price of it. So I'd say just eat at all. I literally went on a cruise before and I did not pay for any food whatsoever on the cruise and no drinks. So it's definitely possible. But you know, from time to time, you may want to splurge a little on yourself and try out something new. That's definitely not a problem. So tip number 7 would be choosing a cabin that is much more cheaper. Now, you can go in the interior room is normally the cheapest cost. They also have rooms that are called guaranteed staterooms, whereas Carnival will assign those rooms to you closer to the date of the cruise, and you would just have to go in whatever room that they assign to you. Now, bear in mind, the prices are lower because of certain things. Sometimes it could be the area you're in on the cruise, or your view may be a little obstructed, but it's really up to you if you want to go that route. So rather than maybe going in a suite or a balcony, you may decide to go in an ocean view or maybe an interior room, whereas the price will be a lot less. So I know I said that I was only going to give 7 tips on how to save on your cruise, but I'm going to give you one bonus tip. So basically, however you're traveling to get to your cruise, one way to save is to determine which is the cheaper route to get you there. So if you are able to drive there versus catching a flight, and that may be the cheaper route, even though it may be a longer time for you to get there, then I recommend you going the cheaper route and just driving there. Now, if you have to travel to get to that particular destination where the port is, you want to also book in advance so that you get the cheapest price on any flights, and you can book your hotels and whatever else you may need in advance. So it's always best to book your trip for your cruise and how you're going to get there well in advance, as well as how you're actually going to get to the cruise. Also, on the Carnival Hub app, you have shuttle services that you can book in advance of your cruise, and this may save you some monies based on you actually trying to get a taxi to and from the airport and not knowing what that price is going to be. But you have a flat rate that you can actually have your transportation, shore transportation to and from the ship. So those are my 7 tips, one bonus tip to save money on your next cruise. I hope this helped you and makes your next vacation a lot more cost friendly. And if I left anything out that you can also save money on your cruise, you can leave it in the comment section below, because I'd like to hear those as well. But thank you so much for listening, and you can like this video if this was helpful for you, and make sure to subscribe to my channel to watch more videos like this. Thank you for watching. Bye.